Hey, first period, this is Miss Osborne here with our fourth lesson in our flipped classroom. We're just going to go ahead and cut to the chase, let you get the work done. Today's I can statement. I can multiply fractions, mixed numbers, and decimals. This is a rule that we've learned in integers, but we're going to carry it over to rational numbers with multiplying and dividing. And remember, when I talk about rational numbers, we're talking about positive and negative fractions. So we have to apply the same rules as we did with integers and use them with fractions. For example, if the signs of the factors are the same, the product is positive. If you're multiplying a positive fraction times a positive fraction, you're going to get a positive fraction. If you're multiplying a negative fraction to a negative fraction, you're going to get a positive fraction. The same rule with integers. We also will do the same thing with division. If the signs are the same, the factors are different, the product is negative. For example, if you're multiplying a positive to a negative, your answer will be a negative. Our first problem today is going to be -8 times 6/7. And let me show you the best way to do this. Normally we just take this whole number, -8, and we plug it over 1. But we're going to do something a little different. We're just going to leave out the 1. So we're going to take -8 times 6 over 7. Now that's the same. It's equivalent to this expression, -8 over 1 times 6/7. That's equivalent, but that's not how we're going to do this year. We're going to take this, -8 times 6 is -48. Signs are different. The answer is negative over 7. Now we have to do is simplify. How many groups of 7 will go into 48? We know our answer is still going to be negative. We know our denominator is still going to be 7 until we simplify. We're just converting this into an equivalent mixed number. 6 groups of 7 will go into 48. 7 times 6 is 42. 6 left over to make it to 48. So, -8 times 6/7 is -6 and 6/7. Our next problem, and this time I want you to stop your video for a moment and really look at this at the end, how I work it. We got a couple steps. The first step is we have to convert 5 1/3 to an improper fraction. So to do that, I got to get on this side of the screen. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. So now I have 16/3. We're going to multiply that by 2. So instead of just putting 2 over 1, I'm just going to make my fraction bar a little more, times 2. We're going to simplify the top. 2 times 16 is 32. 3 times, there's nothing there, so we're just going to bring it over. Now we still have an improper fraction. There's no negative numbers, so my answer is going to be positive. How many groups of 3 will go into 32? So we're going to convert it back into a mixed number. There's 10 groups of 3. My denominator is still 3. 3 times 10 is 30. The difference from 32 is 2. 2 times 5 1/3 equals 10 2/3. Okay, this time we're going to multiply a fraction to a fraction. They're both positive, so my answer is going to be positive. So I'm going to take 1/8 times 6/7. And I'm going to work this out 2 different ways. The first way is just, to me, the harder way, the more complicated way, but I'm going to see if you can catch on the other way to make it a little bit more simpler for you. Multiply straight across. 1 times 6 is 6. 8 times 7 is 56. I can divide, both of these are even, so I can divide the numerator and the denominator by 2 because we have to keep them equivalent. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 56 divided by 2 is 23. No, Miss Osborne is completely wrong. So we got 60. What about 28? Now, there's another way that we could do. We can cancel out. So I have 1/8 times 6 over 7. 2 will go into 6 3 times. 2 will go into 8 4 times. Now I'm multiplying smaller value numbers. It's much easier. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 7 is 28. They both check out.